Hello everyone, sup passe, it's Jimmy. I'm back again doing another key on my DK alt. We have another workshop. We have another 9 key, which is a workshop. And let's just get into it. You can kind of use this. This is more likely a key review, me going over and reviewing to see how I did on the key, things that I can learn. But you can also use this like a routing guide for Mythic Plus dungeons under 10, because the route for 9s and the routes for 10s will be slightly different because of the shrouded affix. So let's just get started. So
A matchup we've got tonight, folks. Sparks are gonna fly. Wait, what's this?
so I recorded this a couple days ago, and since then I've learned a trick that you can do with these guys. Is that instead of all your whole group coming down here, because these guys like to jump around to random group members, and they also have this AoE cast that you have to interrupt. So it can be kind of difficult because they jump around everywhere, and it's hard to, you know, get interrupts out because they're jumping around to different places. A trick that I learned is that you can actually, as a tank, you can solo these guys. So what will you do is you basically have your group stay up top all the way as far back as possible, because these guys have an extremely long range. They stay as, so you get your group members to stay as far back as possible, and when you pull these guys, they do an AoE that grows on the ground, that orange stuff. Let's see if I can show it here.
Watch your step.
Sparks. A word of caution.
Yeah, so that AoE stuff, if that also does damage to them. So if you solo it as a tank, they all stack up on you and jump on you and do that AoE ability on you. So you can kind of circle around them, and that AoE ability will just be on them and they'll kill themselves. I think I have another clip or video of me doing this, but
Shockwave.
that's just for future reference. I did not know this at the time of me doing this dungeon. I was doing it the old school way, where you kind of stand under this guy. But none of my other group mates wanted to stand under here with me, so
Watch your
you know,
step.
you kind of just have to work with what you got when you're pugging.
Watch your step. Shockwave. Shockwave. Shockwave.
Yeah, these guys kind of take a while if you do it this way. If you learn how to solo it as a tank, it's a lot faster.
Until we can clear a path to it.
No sweat, pal. I'm putting 20 large on no mercy.
But if they win, won't we be dead?
Because like I said, they just instantly kill each other because they all AoE at the same place, and if they're standing in it, they kill themselves. Yeah, so yeah, this was a weird thing we're dealing with. Those ghosts kind of when you're in combat with those ghosts, it kind of causes the boss to reset when it spawns.
They win, won't we be dead?
If I can't bet on a sure thing, then I ain't really living.
Yeah, so I bet this. Yeah, I was taking damage here because I'm like 15 item levels under everyone else. So the healer kind of has to babysit me here.
Shockwave.
So this guy's stacks is all gone. I'm waiting for them to kill the other guy. So
Watch your step.
so so what would you guys do in this situation? Would you go and tank the other guy? Go grab the
Shockwave.
car, or would you have waited and let the DPS deal with it? I feel like in the hierarchies, I the most likely have to go get it because of the damage, but it looks like they were handling it fine. So I did not know what to do in that situation because, like I said, this is like my first time. Well, not my first time, but I'm kind of new to taking on the DK.
Shockwave.
A stunning victory for the surface dwellers! But we're still throwing them out with the trash! 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 Trash!
So yeah, one thing to know here, because this is on a 9, I'm used to on my main, which I have KSM on. I'm used to always being like a shrouded mob here, but there's not. So you can basically pull the second guy.
Defensive.
You can pull the second guy and deal with him pretty easy because it's just dodging stuff.
Run.
You just have to make sure they're pointed in the same direction and get out of the circle.
Defensive. Run.
The next part is where things start to get spicy. Is usually where things start to get spicy in the dungeon. On my warrior, I just, on my warrior, I kind of just hide behind a pillar. I don't even go outside. I just let the ranged DPS handle it because it's kind of scary. Those living waste, when they die or get low health, they explode. So yeah, that
Defensive.
volatile wave cast, when they die, it just explodes. So I just hide as a melee DPS.
Run.
Let the range AoE them down. And as a tank, you're kind of in a weird position because if they don't die all the same time, you can't really move.
Defensive.
Because the living wastes that aren't dying will follow you behind the pillar. And then they will die behind, and then they will die where the DPS cannot LOS them. I don't know if that makes sense, but you'll be in a situation where some are dying and some are just low health, and if you move too early, the ones that are low health you move them into the position where they can hurt the DPS. They'll die where they can explode and hurt the DPS. So this boss is all about positioning. What you're doing here is you want to position him
Find shelter.
so that well, I should explain his abilities. Oh my gosh, 2 guys just died right there. Do I wipe it? Let's see, what do we do? But yeah, that you see that box, you need that box to in order to LOS that AoE ability he does. And he also does this explosive leap where he jumps around everywhere. And if a DPS hits him while he's leaping, it damages the box. And it damages and breaks the box. That means you won't be able to AO to LOS that one shot AoE ability he does. So you just want to make sure you're aware of that, and you're always positioning the boss in such a way so that he doesn't, so DPS is not in a position to get hit to ruin the box. So yeah, there was a bit close.
Find
It looks
shelter.
like he did hit the box there because of that hunter. Yeah, it's always the hunter. But yeah, that's just not a lot I could do there, but you see I move him to the side where the ranged DPS is, so that the box is not in between them, and the box
Find
gets hurt.
shelter.
And we basically have to get this boss done with 1 DPS only because someone messed up the mechanic. So here I move away from the box until he does the explosive leaps. After he does the explosive leap, I move back closer to the box. So you have to keep count of,
Find shelter.
you have to keep track of which one he's going to do next. Is he going to do the explosive leap? Then you move away from the box, or is it after explosive leap? Then you can move closer. But if you're not paying attention and you get careless, you could end up messing it up and causing a wipe. Because that AoE one shots you if you don't have the box.
You monsters! It'll take me weeks to rebuild him!
So yeah. So instead of standing on that darker area of the conveyor belt, you can stand on the edge. You can stand on the edge there, and it won't push you back. Sorry about that. I had a little interruption. My aunt.
Warning. Excessive levels of flesh detected. Warning.
Attention, citizens. Please remain in your domiciles. Guards are currently en route to quell the disturbance.
So guys, for this first pull, for these first set of ads, you want to make a beeline to these 2 caster ads, the Tinkerers, because they do this the Giga Wallop cast hurts a lot. So you want to get to them as fast as possible so that you can interrupt or stun them. Whatever you need to do to stop that cast, because it hurts a lot. So they are definitely the priority. And I don't know what that hunter is doing, but you kind of have to deal with it as a tank. I was way out of my range to taunt or death grip him in, and
Dismantled a few of my
there's nothing I could do about that. So he'll learn eventually to bring the ads to the tank.
something more advanced.
Maybe one day. So these guys do hurt when they do their short out ability, the little freak out. If you have them doing it all at the same time, you definitely want to pop a cooldown. But did you notice that I stand right here in this spot? 2 stands right here. So if you stand right here and do an AoE ability, you'll immediately get through on these 2. And then there's one that spawns over here. You can just taunt it. Press taunt or whatever range high threat ability. and it'll pull you, and that's a kind of a neat way to group them all up.
Insufficient against my newest prototype.
Watch your step.
So I brought him over here because apparently, I don't know if they fixed
away from
if I did it right, but apparently if you bring him over here, there's a spot where range DPS can dodge all the abilities. They can just stay back enough and never have and don't have to worry about dodging anything, but I don't think I did it right.
Sparklocks! The invaders have made it past the outer defenses. I want their stench removed from my city.
I have activated all civic defenses, my king. Rest assured, these organisms will be expunged from our metropolis.
Oh yeah, so these kind of this stealth area, one trick you can, this is usually the hardest part, a place people can get stuck with. So I'll give you two routes and how to deal with it. One route is you can go to the left right here. You wait for a gap and an opening, and then you sneak past here, and then you can jump on the box, right? This guy doesn't really move that often. This guy barely moves. So you can, once you get past this spot and stand right here on the box, you just have to wait for this guy to pat down and then back up, and then you'll be safe, and you'll safely be able to hug the wall and get to the safe spot right here. You just don't spend, there's a spot, if you don't stand like on all the way to the corner of the box, you don't have to worry about getting hit by this spot. As he pats down, you just jump up, but you stay a little bit back, and then once he touches, and then once he hits this corner and then starts working up, you can immediately jump down and follow it into the safe spot. And then the next route here is to the right here. You basically, what you have to do is watch this spot right here, the bot that passes ups and down. You wait for him to reach all the way to the bottom. Right when he hits the crate and starts walking back up, that's the opening you're looking for to know when it's safe to continue. There will be a small gap, but there will be a gap. So you just have to wait till he hits the box and start walking up. Eventually, these guys will form a gap, and then you can walk in between that small window and get to that safe spot in time. So that's how you do it. You don't wait. So while he's walking down, it's not safe. You wait till he hits the boxes and then starts walking back up, to know, that's when you know when it's safe to go. So he hits the box, stop walking up, and that's my cue to know it's safe to go. Then once I'm here, I wait for him to walk past me down, and that's my second, and that's when I know it's safe to go from this spot. And now I wait for everybody else.
Warning, excessive levels of flesh.
You see how that guy got hit? Because yeah, it's kind of dangerous to.
Warning, excessive levels of flesh detected. Warning. Warning, excessive levels of flesh detected.
Yeah, this guy is most dangerous when he's moving this way. So we have to wait for him to hit the box and then start walking up, and that's when you know it's safe to proceed. So and you wait here until he walks past you, and then you can come back over here to this area. So I'm waiting for at least one more DPS, because this group does do a lot of damage. So I'm waiting for
Excessive levels of flesh detected.
at least one more DPS to make it to us, so we can get this boss down.
Warning.
In this this group of ads particular, there's another tinkerer, so you want to get to that tinkerer, interrupt it, and get your DPS to kill it as fast as possible. Because these group of ads just hurt a lot. There's a lot going on. But that Tinkerer is first priority and interrupt. And then you want to keep the ads out of that yellow shield. Because it's a damage reduction. So you want to move it out so that the ads are not in it, but it's safe for the DPS to stand in it. So I think, yeah, my necrotic stacks just got too high. I probably could have gotten into the shield to stand in the shield, but I didn't want to race also moving the ads into the shield. Yeah, so that was a wipe. We don't have a res, so I just started to walk back. There's no point in waiting because we don't have any battle res there. Or any class that can battle res. I'm guessing one of them is an engineer. That's why my battle res add-on is going on. Weak aura. It says I have one, but the engineering battle res, I believe it's random. So even if he did use it, there's no guarantee he could res the healer to get mass res.
Warning. Excessive levels of flesh detected. Warning.
Yeah, I think I noticed there that that guy is really undergeared. I don't think that hunter ever got to us upstairs, so I think that's why we died. We didn't have enough damage. And my necrotic stack, so I'm just patiently waiting. And this guy almost gets got because, you know, he doesn't know the trick that I taught you guys. But now that you guys know it, you should be able to do it on the first try every single time. As long as you're patient. Yeah, that entire time, I don't think that hunter ever caught up to us. So now we should have the damage. Now that he made it, he barely made it.
Welcome to my garden, trespassers. Looks like you
Yeah, so this boss is
bloom.
yeah, this is one of the bosses that can make or break the key if everyone's not on their game. There's a lot of AoE abilities and things you have to dodge. So yeah, there's a lot of AoE abilities and things you have to dodge going on. And there's a flower ad that forces you to, or at least your DPS to potentially move around into dangerous position in order to kill it, or else they die because of the AoE damage. Yeah, this boss is mostly about watching the floor than what the bosses does. You're most likely just watching the environment and the peripheral around you to make sure one of those gears aren't going to hit you. And you let the DPS handle getting the flower ad. Yeah, so this boss, if you get a group of people who don't really know what they're doing,
AOE incoming.
you can kind of struggle because it's a lot of things you have to dodge and moving around. And if you don't know or not able to keep up with what's going on, you will. It's a long walk back. A very long walk back through that stealth area, and that causes a lot of time to be missed.
Watch your step.
Yeah, so
Watch your step.
yeah, there. I'm not gonna lie. I was contemplating popping a cooldown there, but the DPS killed it kind of fast, so I'm lucky there. Because the next pull after this is a really dangerous pull. It can be really dangerous depending on
Commandeer that transport
how you decide to do it.
Decepticon's tower.
So the next pull you have to do with a tinkerer, a mechanic, and those
You are no longer
those
mine.
robots.
Just a malfunctioning machine that must be shut down.
Poor child. If only you could accept the truth. The curse of flesh.
Yeah, that tinkerer does damage, and that defender,
And I will
you gotta mess with the squirrels.
purity.
That bleed damage those guys do hurts. The squirrels they summon kind of hurt. There's just a lot of damage going out here. Plus, if you end up pulling one of those defense bots too, that's a whole lot of AoE damage going on at the same time. Yeah. What was that? I didn't. What happened to my my thing there? It like hit the wall.
Out of range.
Yeah, so yeah, these guys can be a bit much if you pull them together because they do a lot of AoE damage.
Need to get closer.
And if you pull them with the other ads, I believe it's the mechanic or the defender. One of them actually buffs that AoE damage that they do. It makes them do even crazier damage. So yeah, just be careful with these guys. So make sure if you do decide to do a big pull with them, that everyone has cooldowns. Yeah, so that pack, that last pack right there, I don't think you can skip them on 9s and under, but I believe on 10s with the shrouded affix and those the percentiles and the shrouded affix, those mobs kind of allow you to skip the last pack if you have a warlock to do the jump or stealth through it. But in this case, you just kind of have to take the punch here. Yeah. I was not able to, I'm so undergeared, I'm not able to handle the threat of like these guys. I think, yeah. The breath, the breath hunter here was like 280 or 290 for like a 9. So yeah, I was struggling keeping up with threat this whole pull. Yeah, but as you see, those guys hurt when you have those defense bots and the defenders or the mechanics and the tinker all at the same time. Yeah, it can be a lot. So you want to make sure you have all your cooldowns up when you pull those guys. It's not one of those it's definitely worth waiting for your to have cooldowns to deal with those guys, because they do a lot of damage. As you see, that one pull depleted the healers all of the healers mana. So this boss is all about pumping as much damage as you can and dodging stuff. That's, if I can summarizing it, is you need some pumpers. You need your pumpers to actually pump and just dodge stuff. And one thing to note, if you get the arrow above your head, that Giga Zap ability on you, you want to stand still so that everyone else in your group can dodge you, right? If you're moving that thing around unpredictably, it's hard for everyone to know. Not everyone else. It's hard to for those 5 people to mind read you and understand where you're going or where you're gonna stop. It's better that you just stand still and let them have the responsibility of dodging and taking care of themselves, and so that then everyone kind of running around like chickens heading. Oh, is he gonna stop here? Is he gonna keep going? Is he going left or right? When you get that Giga Zap on you, just stand still and let everyone else dodge you. If they didn't dodge, it's their fault for getting hit by a dodgeable ability.
All you have done is dismantle a
Phase 2.
furniture. You wish to test my true ordnance? I will happily oblige. All power to weapons.
Yeah. Yeah, this is a really tight fit. See what that guy did over there, that healer? He stood perfectly still and let everybody else dodge him. Don't try to move around or do anything weird, because nobody else will be able to predict you with everything else going on. It's just best that you stand still and minimize the things they have to worry about or dodge. Yeah, you see what happened there? When he moved, like 5 other people had to also move. So just stand still and let people dodge you. He was moving and the rogue was trying to move out the way, but he was also moving in the same direction. So it's kind of this awkward dance thing, like who's gonna stop, who's gonna keep moving.
Run out.
Like if you have the Giga Zap, just stand still. So yeah, so after that boss pops up, it's easy. You just kill him. And there we go. We got the Workshop 9.
The mech originator has been destroyed. And so has my father. You have
see.
my gratitude, heroes. Know that King Machaon's vision of the
Let's see,
world
what did-
is
what did
not
everybody
one
get?
my people share. We
Either way, thank you guys for hanging out with me. If you like the content, make sure you press that like button and subscribe, and see you guys later on. Goodbye.